ต้องใช้เวลาสักพักหนึ่งโอเคมากที่สุดเลย
YouTube
อือฮึ Hello. I'm drawing two right now. Nice, nice. And no Ratman feet in sight. It is truly a lucky day for old me. Yes. I realize that perfectly because the person is laying on the floor. You can't see the toes. And also, I was thinking that there'd be a puddle here as well, so most of the foot will be obscured by water, which is a great day for those who don't want to see rat feet. Yeah, how's everybody doing? This is the second stream of today, and I only did a bit between the streams. I finally decided, okay, you know what? This image wasn't meant to be this wide, so I cut the sides off of it and just kept it this, which feels a lot more right for the image. Like, not too much of this person and just half of this guy's face. Because if I show all of his head and all of this, it just feels like there's no point. There's nothing here on these two sides. It's just empty space, pretty much. So this feels a lot more intentional. So that's what we're doing. 5% of all the subscribers in this channel will be thankful for that. What do you are devastated that there are no rat feet or what? Naive manlet. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry there's no soup. Yeah, so nothing much to talk about really. I'm just gonna continue working on the drawing. Have you been drawing for fun more often? Yeah, I'd say so. I've definitely been drawing for fun more often, which is which is good. That is a good thing. I feel uh like I'm gonna make a video just updating people on YouTube about what I'm working on with the plan this stuff. I'm just gonna tell them about like, hey, I'm working on a video that's gonna like basically give like an overview of the world and give an update on this first image and just have that be it, have that be a video. And that's gonna just help me lift a lot of the weight off my shoulders, I think. Um, just show this image, you know? Because then I don't have to worry about, oh God, I have to finish all 12 images before being able to make a video about it and not being able to show any of it. But no, I can. I can just show updates like that. That's it. I don't need to think too much about, you know, anything else. Uh, any advice on drawing people? I just can't get it to work. I have no idea. I'm not good at drawing people either. Okay. Love the things you're doing. I'm definitely going to fail my midterm, but hope you succeed in the things you have passion about. Well, goodness, I hope you do pass the midterm. Thank you very much for the 55 try. Uh, Emery Car Karaman? Emery Karaman. I tried my best. Sorry, but yeah, thank you. Really appreciate the support. Hope you pass your midterms. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna try and change some of the filters of the noise gate. There you go. I hope that's gonna sound a little better. I can just reset it actually. There you go. Will you ever draw a map for the world? No, not like a accurate map. I don't think it would add anything to the setting. Um, Also, the world is changing constantly, so it's hard to kind of draw a map anytime soon without, having to redraw it. I have like 3 maps drawn of the world already, but all 3 are out of date instantly, because I'm working on the world while also drawing the map, so just instantly went out of date. And then, what do I say? If I do draw a map, it's probably going to be sort of medieval style where it's showing the locations, but not accurate locations or not accurate distances. It's very like interpretive, uh, instead of like accurate, because I feel like that make more sense. I don't want to like tell you exactly how far things are away from each other. I think it'll just like it'll make it less special. For example, if there's like a distance of trench war between 2 locations, and if you know exactly, it's like, oh yeah, that's 20 kilometers away from each other. It makes it less maze-like. The trenches are all like mazy and stuff, and kind of loses a bit of that if they just map it out very accurately. Rat toes. No rat toes, sadly. Today we don't have rat toes. How do you do details? Well, that's a very open question. It's kind of hard to answer that, isn't it? I don't know. I just know what I want to add where, I guess. Like I keep going with it a little bit, little by little. I don't know how I add detail. Just add it. That's where detail's supposed to be. Uh, does your use of reference images help? Oh, 100%. Yes. Reference images are key. Like they're very important. The only reason I'm not using them now is because, well, I don't really need any references for what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just cleaning up the image. Everything's already set in place. Um, so that's why I'm not using it for now or for this part. But like before this, any sort of references for armor designs and stuff like that is always like really important. Hasn't the stream ended for you? What? What do you mean? Have you played Balatro? No. Sadly, I don't think I have the brain for it. I know it's not like big brain game or anything. You can play it casually as well, but I don't think I'd enjoy thinking too much about numbers like that. Just not my style game. Uh, have you played Amnesia: The Bunker? Nope. I don't really play horror games just by myself. Doesn't I play ones that are multiplayer with my friends because I don't get frightened easily, but it's not that I enjoy horror games myself because there's not really a point. It's funny to see other people scream, so that's why I like multiplayer horror games instead. So like we play fucking well horror game Lethal Company, not that horror, but still has some jumpy moments. I can hear some wonderful screams from my teammates. And oh, we did play like Phasmophobia as well. But the thing is, like, we got so used to the game's mechanics that basically we turned into a SWAT team for ghosts. So we sort of turned that into not a horror game as well. Like we spam mic'd, screamed the name of the ghost while running into the house with candles and fucking noise detectors and scanners, just rushing every room, breaching them. Clear, no ghosts. Uh, and any anomalies got taken care of so quickly that it's kind of the scary nature of it definitely faded. The only horrifying thing that was left after that was just the horrifying player models, which we would jump scare each other with when playing basketball in the waiting room before the matches. Yeah. Besides that, I don't think we've played any. Yeah, horror games. Not really crazy about them. Would you do a Lethal Company stream? I think I've done one before, haven't I? If I haven't, then I mean, it might be fun. Could do that. Have we done one? I don't think so. Yeah, the models are really crusty. Yeah, and the way they move is just it's worse than any of the ghosts. That's for sure. Yeah, I would love to like stream games with my friends more often, but they are hazard. to my YouTube career. Um, I don't think I can risk having them audible in stream because some of the things they say would definitely cut my career short. So I'll sadly probably not be able to play with them on stream. It'll just have to be, private games. Oh, I mean, I feel like that is a common thing amongst friend groups. So real for that. Yeah, I can't. I can't risk it. Seriously, I wish I could, but no. Are there pirates in the world? Yeah, yeah, there are. Though we haven't really like fleshed them out enough for me to want to like talk about them. Hooray! I caught a stream. Welcome to the stream. It's a fork. Have you tried redesigning vampires? No, I don't really find them interesting. Or not. It's not that I don't find them interesting. It's just that so many people have done it to the point where I don't think I can come up with any interesting addition to that conversation. Like, okay, first thought that comes to mind is like, oh, design them after leeches, or like make them more bat-like. There's like people have done that. I know I've seen them, and I can't think of anything besides that to do. Like, what else is there for me to add? I think all the redesigns of yeah, mosquitoes. I've seen that one too. I know. I think I've seen one that's mosquitoes as well. Like all the bases have been covered that I can think of. So I don't. What am I trying to do with this body here? Oh no. Imagining him like falling down, but I don't know how the hell the person that fell down looks. I mean, we can do just half the body. I think that's B. Yeah, there you go. That's my solution. Easiest way. I can't draw the legs. I don't know where to put them. We'll just remove them. It's a war. They're probably somewhere over here. The legs are there, and his upper half is here. What are your eye colors? Huh? Like my eye colors? I don't know. You don't know what your eye color is? I think it's shit brown, probably. You should create layers underground with different types of creatures living in them, and maybe some of them would be smarter, so they could build civilizations underground. I have cool ideas for it too. Cool. Kissing bugs. I've never heard of kissing bugs. Fleas. I haven't seen a kind of vampires, I guess. Also of a cordyceps infection, but it's not very original either. Yeah, there's been a lot of cordyceps infections. I mean, the thing is with designing, the it's not like originality is the one and only factor in determining if a design is good. You can have the most like generic overdone design imaginable, but still if you execute it really well, then it can stand on its own. It's great, it doesn't matter. So I don't like try to shy away from things just because they've been done before, because you can still definitely like do them and do them in a way that's different enough to like have it stand out. Same with like cordyceps. I feel like there's a bunch of cordyceps designs of like zombies and other things that is all like, oh, it's a cordyceps infection. But I feel like there can still be more. Like there could totally still be a bunch more that still stand out and push it way further in different directions. Like you can still beat that fucking concept to death. It's not dead yet. It's a balance of power, probably. And you can have the most original concepts ever conceived, and it's still executed poorly. Yeah, it does go the other way too. Yeah, execution is king for sure, for sure. Is there a certain type of PTSD in your world? I wouldn't want to like try and say that it's a PTSD because I don't think 100% I'm not qualified to actually like do anything in with that, because I don't have their knowledge of that enough to like represent it properly. But I do have a symptom that appears after being in the trenches for long enough. But I don't try to say like, oh, it's PTSD or whatever. I don't think I can, it isn't. It's the Rust thing that I did for one of the Inktober things, where over time they sort of get like blurry and their eyes start like leaking rust and look sort of rusted. Trenchfoot is a completely different thing. Trenchfoot is definitely a thing in the world, though. Yeah. Lamprey. Oh yeah, I've seen lamprey vampires. Do we know what they're really fighting for in the war? Like oil, land, or personal gain? Yeah, 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 we do, we do. Seeing your stuff makes me want to do my own world building project. Go for it. What's the reason? It's really fucking long-winded, and I've explained it enough times already on stream. I'd rather just wait to do it in a video. Hopefully, like in the video that I'm gonna be doing about these like drawings, the 12 drawings that I'm doing to like give an overview of the world, I'll hopefully do a sort of short explanation of how the war started even. So do the hatch folk speak sound similar to Skaven, or is it just sign language? No, no, they speak like people. Um, they their way of speaking, though, I've said this before. I want it to be different, but I still haven't really figured out how it would actually sound. But I wanted it to be a lot of abbreviations and shortened phrases that they use. So their language is very quick to speak and get information across because it's very important in their situation to be able to give information across very quickly. Uh, like if you're alerting your friends to like retreat because there's a platoon coming and stuff, you'd rather have something that can tell them quickly. So their language has sort of become very efficient and short phrases, but I I can't figure out a way to make that work, having it sound like caveman speak. Because I feel like they'd also remove any sort of unnecessary parts of the language as well. But I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, they wouldn't speak like Skaven because they're not like crazed rat people. Like they're people. That's what they are mainly. It's they're people. Shit. Um, like a damn Christmas ornament. I don't. Okay, I think that's enough detail in the line work. The rest can be like carried by the color and stuff. The color can help carry a lot of the image, so that's what it's gonna. Let's do this. Control C. E. There you go. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna sort of throw colors at it and try to get the values that I want, and then hopefully we can go from there. So just darken things and lighten things up until I think they look right. Um, the contrast in the foreground definitely needs to be more intense. Just gonna add some shadows and stuff. But then there's like the puddles as well there, and then like the reflection and the puddle. Not think too much about the pants is red. Uniform is it's kind of blue. Uh, um, are trenches prone to flooding, like actual trenches? Oh yeah, uh, definitely, definitely. Oh, and we still need to add the damn like worms eating the bodies as well. That'll be fun. Should actually add those now so they don't like look off later. If I add them later, then they'll, stand out too much. I think that the hatch folk would drop any unnecessary uh vowels or syllables, like enemy or threat could be shortened to nem and threat. Yeah, that does make sense. There you go. A little better. And then I can have those be like a sort of bright red to call attention to them. What historical period has been the most influential for the Monster Garden? I don't know, actually. It's been a complete mess of random bits and pieces of different periods. I don't like when I look for references, I don't research time periods at all. Or I don't like put in dates and stuff like that. I just look at whatever feels like it fits the look of the setting. So I don't even know what half of the things in the setting are like from time wise, you know? Like I don't know if it's like World War I or after that or before that by a little bit. It's all kind of mashed together. Because if it looks right to me, then I use it. That's like the only criteria. I don't like think about uh needing it to be from a specific time period or I can't use it or something like that. But I would guess like World War I probably has the most like things from it that I like, except for the guns. Just sort of the general mood of it instead of uh yeah, just the general mood of it. How many world building YouTube channels do you think you've inspired? Uh I have no idea. I have definitely found a bunch that have given me shouts for getting them started, which I mean, it's still strange to hear yourself being the reason why somebody else started doing something. Uh, but I'm happy that it happened. But yeah, I'd say like I definitely have heard like a handful, like six, seven maybe, uh, where they like mentioned me being the reason, which is yeah, it's weird. It's great though, but it's definitely weird. Excuse me. How can I make this dude stand out more? I mean, I can make the trench that's behind him a lot darker, and then have him have like a brighter light on his back to bring him out more and work. I think that works. Uh, Sandbags. There. I'm guessing like the light sort of coming from back, sort of. Let me make that part of the sky a little brighter. Just like sort of from there ambiguously. So like this would be darker, and then it casts a shadow here, and then this part of the dome would be darker. Uh, this part as well, and then this would cast a shadow like that. This side would be darker. This would be darker. This would be a little lighter. I still want to keep it dark. I think it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna like break version too much because I wanted to contrast this guy. Then his shadow is gonna be pretty much like over the body. It's kind of working. I think his face definitely needs to be more obscured though. I'll make it more interesting too, but I also want to keep the these parts bright, which don't make sense to have them stay bright at this angle, but doesn't matter. I want them to be bright, so they just will be. Do you have a centralized website for all the world building? No, sadly not. Hey, I'm kind of curious about how you learned art because I really like your art style, and I was wondering if you learned mostly through targeted studies on fundamental skills or just passively. Passively. 90% of my drawing was definitely just for fun. I didn't like focus on studying because my main focus was having fun with it, right? And that just got me to draw more, and drawing more just, it helps you get better at drawing. Uh, I that doesn't mean it's a good way of studying though. Like that's not the one way to do it because I guarantee you if I were to have spent the time like just burning through trying to study and learn as much as possible, uh I would probably be better at art than I am now. I'd probably be better at it. But would I have had fun while doing it? I doubt it. I don't think I'd be enjoying it as much as I am now. So I feel like it's a trade-off. I was cruising along, but it also made it a lot less stressful and less like, God, I gotta get good at this skill that I want to like, but I hate it because I'm just studying all the time, you know? Uh, how do you train line confidence? I don't know. Probably because I draw in my sketchbooks with a pen. I stopped using a pencil like years ago, and I just have like the cheapest pen, like ballpoint pen I could find, and I just sketch with that a lot. Books, and that's it. That's all I do. So I guess it's like I'm just used to having to be sure about lines all at once, or not worrying too much about it. Because the thing is, I can always like, even though like you might think about it being like, oh no, but if you draw anything wrong with a pen, then you can't erase it. Well, yeah, so I just draw the whole thing again, or I just draw over it and fix it. So it looks messy, but I can still fix problems by just redrawing them, you know? So my sketchbooks are just filled with random like messy things. They're sketchbooks. They don't matter much. They're just a way for me to get my ideas out. But I guess it helped with line confidence, even though I mean I don't have line confidence if you like what I think of as line confidence is like the ability to make incredibly clean line work where you know exactly where you want a line to be and what purpose each of the lines have and why they're the way they are, what thickness, stuff like that. That's confidence. I don't have that. I mean, look at this. This is a mess. This isn't line confidence. This is me just it's a rough as hell sketch where I just keep erasing and redrawing parts until they sort of settle into the place that's close enough to where I want them. But it's just been, or the reason I do it this way is because that's just how my style has sort of uh what's it been or what my style's been asking for over time. Like I realized I after I started drawing with color, like for a really long time, I avoided doing color at all because I was like, I'd want to be a line work artist. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do line work because I hate coloring. But then eventually I did get into coloring. Uh, and after that, I was like, well, now I like coloring. Like coloring is a really potent tool to use in expressing a design. Issue is, I spend all this fucking time and effort on line work, and as soon as I put color on it, all the line work disappears. So most of the detail that I spent like hours doing just goes away because I used to do I did a sketch and then I did the line work over the sketch and then I did the color over the line work, or not over the line work, under the line work. But if the color's too dark, then the line work's gone. Um, so I basically just cut out the middleman. I was like, well, then I can just do sketches and just clean up the sketches just enough so the color makes it convincing. So I just don't have to do the line work. So that's why it's this way now, where I don't really like finish a sketch and then move on to line work. I just finish a sketch and then blend, like clean it up until it's good enough to color. And then with my coloring as well, the way I color, I just I mean, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just like throwing shit onto the paper and seeing what sticks. Like none of this is I don't feel bad about removing any of this. I can erase this whole layer and just do it again, and it's fine because if you look, like this is what I've been doing. It's an absolute mess. None of this took like effort, or I don't feel precious about any of it because it's just one layer, and I prefer it that way. I just like coloring on one layer because then I can just throw it away easily. I can change everything easily. Um, Making the color less op I mean, yeah, of course. Like when I was still like focusing on wanting to have the line work pop, I tried all kinds of things of like lessening the opacity and stuff like that. But then when I lessened the opacity, I just felt like the color wasn't doing enough, you know? Like it to me, it just felt like, well, what's the point of me adding the color? It's just faded and it sort of pulls some of the focus away from the line work, but it doesn't add enough on its own for it to like make the image really pop because the color is not bright. So I sort of just lost things and didn't gain anything from it. So in the end, I just decided to, this is the path I went down. There's definitely ways of making it work. I mean, like fucking Mobius is definitely like one way of like having really good line work using really good colors and having the line work still pop and the color pop, but I just never found that. So this just happens to be the way I went down. Yeah, I feel like I need to look at some references for lighting. Because I'm drawing it, but I don't feel like it's quite right. I want some more like, hold on. This might be a little dark, a little too dark. I'm looking for references of like dreary scenes, like kind of overlooking sky. Hell are these images? It's all fucking AI. Needing a reference? Yeah, yeah. Just to sort of help the process along. I can't think of. Let me look at some images of like trenches. Hopefully find one that's in the right lighting conditions. Ooh, this one's wonderful. World War I trench. Yeah, this one's really good. Holy shit. I like this. This is definitely something I can take inspiration from. Uh, Not like the colors. I definitely still want them to be more orange, but just the values in the image are really strong. Like how bright it gets here, and it's like foggy. I can definitely have it be foggy here, and then like a lot more dark around closer to the camera. These ones are so nice. Are these all by the same person? Yeah, I think all these. No, no, this one's by somebody else. Yeah, this is the kind of mood I'm looking for. Look at that. And this one's a little too bright. Yeah, let's just go with those two. I think those two are lightning bolts. No, no, not lightning bolts. It's a little much. Okay, so I like how dark this gets. I'm just gonna click on the colors because I want to figure out how dark they do it. And it does get really close to black pretty much. And the brightest that this image does is like in the middle of the color wheel, or the color triangle, I guess. Yeah, okay. Good to know. Cool. Let's try and put down those colors and see what I can do. Really dark. And try and pull it away. Okay. Dark here. I think that's already like quite an improvement with like the values. It makes this a little harder to read, but I think it makes more sense for the trench aesthetic. Yeah, and I don't think I need like bombastic or like over the top edge highlights. Like very sort of soft edges I think are just fine. And then I'll want to like this is like where the wall that is next to this guy cuts off, so I want to like separate that a bit with fog. And then okay, let's add in some of the more yellowy stuff again. Yellow, orange. Okay, we still see this bunker in the distance. A little shading on this side. This can be dark. Yeah, I think that's getting somewhere. I want the edges here to be there. Still have this dude be brighter. His whole back, pretty much. Sorry for being so quiet. I'm quite just focused at the moment. I'm enjoying just trying to figure out how the hell to get the values that I want. The floor is quite a lot brighter than the walls, though, in both of these images, which helps separate it out. So I think I need to do that as well. The walls here are really dark. I need to pull the floor be a bit brighter so it can help make it a little clearer the hell is going on. Too bright. Way too bright. This was just right. What does this get? It's barely. Darker. definitely try and squeeze some like cooler tones in the image. And I definitely want the puddle here. I think that's going to help separate out the. That, right? Maybe some even brighter spots. Then add the reflection. They don't got to be perfect. I don't really care, but just good enough. To... There you go. That's starting to get somewhere. Getting there. But slippery or confusing parts that I missed some context on that. I was just now watching the stream from some hours ago. Yeah. I decided to stream again. Just felt like it and enjoying it quite a bit. This one's probably going to be, but I already know it. It's definitely a more quiet one than the other two. Just sort of focusing on drawing and just getting work done, getting the drawing done. Did the chat freeze for me? Oh yeah, it did. Would you ever consider making like a micronation or dominance outside of Rus and Rom? I think it would be neat to have small factions outside of the main war. Well, yeah, there are. I just haven't covered them. Hello, first time on stream. Welcome. And I have a little question. Have you ever thought about the prehistoric past of your world or how the two nations react to fossils if they exist? No, I haven't thought about that at all, actually. Um, I don't know how they'd react to it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It is interesting to think about it though. But hi, Harold. Harold, Harold the goat? Harold? Huh? Who's Harold? Am I missing context? What? Harold the myth? What do you mean? Who's Harold? Missing. I apologies if I don't know about you, Harold. My golly goodness, gee. Harold, the Almighty, the myth, the legend himself. Harold, welcome to the stream. I'm Harold. Yes, hello, Harold. Are there giraffes in your world? I don't know actually. I'm not quite sure. I feel like they'd look too weird in the. I think giraffes would look too weird in my fantasy setting. Uh, even though they're real creatures, goofy. So maybe no, maybe giraffes are actually not a part of my world just because they don't fit. They're probably in some other region. Nothing close to the war, though. I don't think anybody in the war would have heard of what the hell a giraffe is. Fantasy giraffes. Yeah, maybe. I think we're definitely getting somewhere. Though the readability of the image from far away is definitely not good. Like compared to these images, those images stay very clear. Even from far away, you can tell what's in front, what's behind, and like the main focal point and stuff. I still have to get better at that, that's for sure. Because this image is quite a bit value wise. Not sure which part should be the focal point. I'm gonna try to like have things stand out from each other. I did make a separate layer for this just to tinker around a little. Here. Oops, no, here, no, this, yeah. I want to see if I can like maybe try and separate things out more. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. That helps a tiny bit. It's like brightening up everything in the background to make it look more foggy. Yeah, that helps. It does help. Tiny bit. Oh god, the image is not that good. The more I work on it, the more doubts I'm having about it, honestly. I mean, it's kind of my own fault that I decided that the thing that I want to have people focus on is in a dark corner of the damn image instead of like with this it's the focal point is in front of the bright part all around it, so it's very easy to tell what the hell you're supposed to be looking at. With this one it's off in the damn like dark corner behind this like wall. Maybe I can make it stand out a little better, darkening up the background around it even more. This. Can cheat and like put a bit of water here, like help separate the foot. Also like make the hand brighter. It's helping, I think. Have the top of the foot be brighter. Let's be dark. Be a clear fucking. Come on. Here you go. Thank you. Okay, I think he's definitely standing out more now. I mean, he doesn't have to. The whole point of the rats is that they blend into the background or they blend into the trenches very well. So having him stand out is kind of what a rat's supposed to be. But for the sake of the image, I do have to have him, stand out. Um, but I think we're at a point where that is a fine amount of standing out. Now I just feel like there's something off about this area right here because you can't really tell if it's ground or what it is, right? And it's supposed to be ground. His silhouette ends here. So how do I make that clear? I think the easiest way is to get some water over here because that's been telling everybody that it's ground the whole image. So just doing that definitely help a bit. Having a right though. Uh, but if the rat is meant to be considered camouflage, shouldn't the fallen soldiers stand out more than him? I mean, yeah, but the soldier is also further away into the corner, and he's been laying there dead. Um, and everything's muddy in the trenches. I think we're getting there, though. Top of this can be a little lighter. Same as over here. I also need to work on my reflections because these don't look, or like water in general. This doesn't look like water yet, or it doesn't look that wet. Um, Honestly, it kind of just looks, I don't know, like brown, round. What can I do to make it reflections? Don't reflections have like sort of shit going on? Is that too much? These lines aren't accurate, by the way. I'm just trying to scribble them in to see if that is what it's missing. I think so, actually. That Mu Dengen. Yeah, he is quite an important part of the monster garden, actually. I think that is a way to get it across that it's water, just the bright highlights over the reflected dark shadows. Those lines don't make any sense, but I think they're better than nothing at the moment, so let me just keep them in. Yeah, you know what? What I think is, I think that's enough. Not that the image is finished, but I feel like stepping away from it and then coming back to it would definitely help me more than just sort of like just fucking forcing it to work. It's good enough to like show you what it's supposed to be. It can be better, yes, but just step away from it, leave it for now so I don't absolutely hate it, right? And then I can come back later if I got some ideas or just doodle away at it a little bit. And I can focus more on doing the other images, which I still love. Like, it's not like these images or this image has to be fucking perfect because I have like 10 more to go. So let's just call this Hatch Hatch Folk. Just call it Hatch Folk. There you go. So that's the first one, or that's the first image of all of them done. Uh, so after this, I think next stream. This is gonna be it, by the way, for the stream. It's just a short one. I just wanted to work on the image. I didn't talk much, but I think that's fine. I got the drawing done to a reasonable degree, which I'm happy with. So next stream we'll probably be working on. I mean, we can ask. I can just ask people in the next stream which one they'd prefer me working on. That might be good, so I can get out of my comfort zone more quickly instead of avoiding the images that I feel like I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna do good at. But yeah, hello Dan. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that, even though it was definitely more of a quiet one. Uh, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna go to bed. Because I need to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So take care. Take care. Take care.